Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And I'm going to talk about this because this particular incident and incidents like it, I think a lot of people are missing some key facts about the way people are and people's fucked up egos about carrying guns and whatever else. Especially when I had people on my YouTube when I talk about how somebody should have the right to bear arms or whatever, and you've got these people on this other side, and you'll get trolled on this other side, and oh yeah, you're a right wing, blah blah blah, and I don't even look like a fucking conservative, but they just blurt out, and they'll accuse you of parroting something from some right wing shit or whatever. The people that parrot left wing stuff are accusing you of parrot right. They think they're better than you because they parrot this. They're missing like the big picture. And anybody, especially my critics, people, there's a lot of people on this YouTube. I'm actually a watcher of YouTube. I ain't no big giant, big shot right wing, right to bear arms, or some big shot leftist that thinks he's shit that got all these views or whatever. I'm a watcher myself and an observer, which whether you're black or white watching this, that you should be too, about human nature and about how people should watch themselves, and like be really, really careful how you react to people, and if you see symptoms of certain things coming. But anyway, this was what I'm saying is about anybody who wants to be a far left smart ass or think they know it all. I want to say my position, if it's of any consolation to anybody on the far left, in my book, how some people, instead of being far left or far right, that we can agree on. This is some stuff that the leftists, I think, not to go on and ramble, I want to get right to the point, but this is some stuff I particularly think, in my opinion, that if you agree on some of the things, it's never good enough for the left. It's always their way or no way or whatever, but I still believe the right to bear arms, but this particular incident I see on the news, I want to talk about. There's a lot of stuff like it. Oh, this guy got killed, like in our Pittsburgh news. It was have the article in the beginning. The reason why I want to talk about it, the guy was an off-duty police officer, and of course, the person that's going to be have his ass put away now is didn't know that. But okay, there's a lot of things that all over this country, incidents like this, similar to this, to happen. This guy happened to be an off-duty cop. He was barely on the job, but it can happen to anybody. And the point that I'm getting to is assholes like this guy, and anybody black or white paying attention to this too, that knows that I subscribe to a lot of the YouTubers, the smarter black gentlemen to the YouTubers. You got the black gentleman that was a former police officer, and a lot of that I think, instead of, I'm just talking parentheses, I'm getting to the point. I'm just saying, just in case anybody wants to start any shit like out of presumption and they don't know who you really are. This ain't just the right to bear arms. Anybody who know, like me or you out there that have friends that are both black and white, you can be black and have this shit happen to you, or white. It's not people who are, just because shit happens to people who are black, you can be black and just somebody else black can shoot you. Alright, so getting to the point, and I'm trying to just say that, like, I'm trying to make my point. If you're black or white watching this, and what you should be watching out for, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to keep rambling and have to defend myself to maybe critics on my little YouTube channel that, hey, you must be, fuck you, I'm not. But anyway, if you're paying attention, article, what I was reading, I'm reading the article and I see it on my TV news. people get blown away about the shooting in the far left or right, or blurting out all their stuff. I think it just should warn everybody of any race. What I'm trying to get at here, if you have the patience with me to, I'm just holding myself from rambling totally off the subject. There's personality traits of people of all kinds that you can make entire long ass videos about, okay? So I'm holding myself here from going on and on too much. It's better I write something down in. I don't want to look like I'm writing in. I'm writing something, or I'm reading something off of a teleprompter or a fucking article, but it's still important to you. Some of us should have like a little something written down, A, B, C, and even a damn what do you call it, PowerPoint document behind me here about human personalities and demented personalities and entitled personalities and Mr. King of the shithead personalities, you know what I'm saying? So you got this far. So I'm basically talking about a particular incident like this has a, I don't want to call it what word I want to use, but it reeks of, okay, assholes thinking they have the right to bear arms, meaning thinking that they can just go out and they got a demented presumption of what stand your ground means. This guy evidently meant stand your ground laws. I think some of these fucking assholes that, I believe in the right to bear arms, but it seems to me there's a lot of people in some articles that I'm looking at are like, they don't even pay attention or look at any of the laws or any train on any laws, and you get a gun. They think, yeah, you'd look at me like I'm nuts for this. But, like, I'm not the nut here. I'm just observing that there's people out there that can get a gun that actually are that stupid they presume stand your ground means you can chase somebody down and stalk somebody over a fucking, where everybody else just flips each other the bird and moves on. Now, you gotta worry now that whether you're black or white, just whether you flip somebody a bird or somebody gets mad, they're going to fucking follow you. And now it gets to a point, if you see a thing like this on the news and something like that happens to you, it's almost like go on your hands-free phone. I said, you know what, I'm being followed. This guy's still following me, and should I go to my house or, have 911 called so the police come, right? To prevent, something like that going to happen to you. You're going to get some asshole that's mad. And he thinks he's right because he carries a gun and he wants to start an argument. Instead of moving on with his life, right? These people come in all races, just so you know. But, people on YouTube and the internet, they don't give a shit. They'll say anything they want. But, man, some person that has that delusional of an attitude. Oh, and this guy, too. It didn't say on the news. Anybody know if this guy had a legit permit? I'm presuming he did, or maybe he didn't. I mean, the news didn't say if the guy had a legit permit. But, yeah, use people going around, even whether they bought a gun somewhere or they have a legit permit, they actually think that they have the right to go follow somebody home and start an argument and be an aggressor, right? Follow them home, and then whether it gets physical or not, the person decides he can't intimidate somebody the way he did when he followed him home. He thinks he could. I'm making pauses here because I'm picturing this in my head, and And by the way, I'm looking at and I'm not stereotyping either way. Both black and white people, you see the perpetrator of the incident's going to jail, whether they're both black or white. You notice they all have their look. And there's other people, good people that have a look, or with their beards, or different colors, different hairstyles, right? And they're not all like that. And you get one person that commits a crime like this with a firearm, and it makes people that look like that look bad. But you notice when you go see their picture, they all have that. And you see if they had any previous run-ins. I think thinking I saw somewhere this guy had a previous run-in or something, something. You looking at, yeah, they have their look something they think they are. Every race or person has this stereotype or whatever, and their look. And along with the look, they got that ego, and they think that they can go just chase somebody down, right? They want to go intimidate somebody, right? The person's not intimidated. Follow them to their house. So they get their ego fractured because they can't intimidate them. They think carrying a gun and the right to bear arms means that if you decide to stalk somebody, right, and chase somebody down, and if you don't get the intimidation factor that you want, and to prevent having to just and not run away with your tail between the legs, you have this inflated ego like an overgrown child, and then go and shoot somebody, and then, well, throw your whole life away. You know what I mean? That's what happens. That's what. Yeah, the guy like this. If you got this far in this rambling video, well, guy ain't gonna have his fancy ego anymore. People like that, you hope they survive the shooting, and then so that they can see the jail time or whatever. But he's gonna be pretty much in jail for the rest of his life. But it's not just about like I said, it's not about whether you're black or you're white. I was trying to concentrate on the over stupid shit. Somebody thinks that they have the right to go and stalk somebody, right? You know what I mean? And well, there was a few other articles like that too. What was that? One over somebody parking in a handicap space, and there was an altercation. In one case, the guy should have, like other people do, just call the cops behind your back and not even get confrontational, exchange words. But when it gets physical, and the one guy was a Florida guy was going to claim stand your ground, and they changed their mind and say it wasn't stand your ground. You know what I mean? That's another thing too. Okay, getting back to the stand your ground thing. You ask a bunch of people, what the fuck does stand your ground really mean? In a lot of cases, this is rambling, but whether you got people, and by the way, while I'm talking about this too, not stereotyping everybody the way they dress, but you notice these certain white or black people, black or white, they have their look. And I mentioned the people like the overgrown child with a gun. Everybody has their macho thing, black or white, they want to dress macho. But you notice that there's these different people of different races. I made this joke about too. They act and dress like a perpetually 10-year-old child with a gun, almost like the same way you got the fights in the fucking schools and kids, bringing guns to school. If it's not the overgrown macho stereotype, whatever, or black or white people dress, you got these people with the ego. They literally dress in like t-shirts and shorts, different kinds of shorts, and they actually are looking like acting and dressing like overgrown kids with guns. Yeah, I mean, you got that factor too. Dressing like a child, acting and dressing like, well, everybody wears t-shirts and shorts, you know what I mean? Acting and dressing like a child with a gun. You got grown-ass men, instead of wearing t-shirts and shorts like you're going for a walk, they got that damn look. And in different cities where you might live, and different articles that you're reading, and all that, I'm trying to get at, I'm trying to tie together what you guys, a type of mental maturity, what people are in their minds, I mean, whether they're a particular age. You got people that never grew up, and they grow up getting guns or other kind of weapons or whatever, and they're acting the same damn way as they did when they were getting in fights in school. And people were like, and people used to tell me that, like, oh, I'm dwelling on the past and I am something wrong with me. I'm just tracing things up the way when I was back in school, the way people act, and all it is, I'm saying that evolve some of these assholes out there that you may have went to school with. Cause you have these people you went to school with, right? Some of them matured and got married. Some of them were the school bullies. And, sheesh, compared to back when I was in school, and now what shit's going on in schools now. Jesus Christ. I don't even want to go there. But, all right, we all got those. Some people that we went to school with, some of them turned out okay, and some of them, the same immature, older versions of themselves, some of them end up going to prison, or some of them end up in and out of jail, dodging child support, and one or two may have ended up murdering their wives or whatever. Some of them turned out okay, but that's what this shit has actually come to. Like if all of us, we look back on, I think some of the past shapes the future in a way. Even though maybe me or other people, we all got immature things about us that we do for something constructive, or we've done things, but you had the person that was extorting money from somebody out of threat of violence in a school. Some of them turn into armed robbers later. Or you get that person that was kind of like a school bully, not exactly the toughest person in the school or whatever, back and forth. You get the kid in school that the one person don't get intimidated, so he gets his ego fractured. So this school bully ends up doing something that affects the rest of his life, putting somebody in a hospital or bad or murdering. That's what we're dealing with, really. I mean, are we dealing with the right to have a gun in a way, or are we dealing with a immature mentality? You know what I'm saying? It's that's what's going on with these damn people. It's looking and shaking my head. I'm sitting there taking little pauses right now because it's I could rattle on a bunch of other things. It'll take a whole video, but it's but do you have the right to stalk somebody? And how do you even if somebody wants to go and buy a firearm, you go through a background check, and say you got to give somebody else another. Well, you'll check for other kind of things, but there's a lot of these people that smarter. You say whatever you want to hear, but people got this mentality that'll slip right by these damn mental health checks or whatever. I mean, the only thing background checks, a lot of people will do, or, were you ever 302 before? Well, off the top of my head, I never really looked at I'm looking basics. I mean, you had that one guy in that church shooting. Somehow he wasn't even supposed to have a gun. How the hell did that happen? But I think from what I understand, he got a legitimate permit, not even But what's... Okay, so... Anyway, what I was getting at with this rambling video was a childish... I'm trying to put together the childish mentality that people have. The reason why shit like this happens is because these damn people think they can get a gun, right? And they think they have the right to stalk somebody because they're an overgrown child that got their ego fractured. They got to follow somebody. They're acting like a fucking overgrown child. I read this book called The BS Syndrome. He was talking about different kind of mental traits. Slightly outdated. They ought to update the book. The writer of this book ought to update it a little bit and be But anyway, he said, talked about the macho man. Abuses women, children, and the rough, tough hombre, and even carries a gun, which he dares not use. Which that outdated statement really is. Well, some of them, it's usually you get the people that carry a gun that they dare not use, but now you got people both black and white. They get their ego fractured. They turn around and they'll throw their life away, acting like they go and shoot somebody for stupid shit. And after they were stalking them. and then thinking they're just going to go right home and watch TV or whatever, like, you know, nothing's ever going to come of it, or they realize after they've done it, you know, they're screwed, they're going to jail or whatever the hell now, but yeah, damn messed up. The only thing I can do is like you can look and just like shake your head, but like this video, really, I should have just edited it a little bit or do a shorter video. But it's like people that know me probably. This is mostly for like a few people that know me already got through this. You know what I mean? But as far as anybody else, you know what I mean? It's just a long. Probably do another one, a shorter version of this or whatever the hell. But